Hey you guys, welcome back to PJ's Place. Come on in. All right, y'all, I am back with another Hey Sis, I See You interview here in Miss PJ's Place. Thank you so much for coming back to visit me here in Miss PJ's Place. And if you have not already checked out my previous Hey Sis, I See You, please go and check it out. I will try to remember to leave either a card or a link down below for that video. But today we are interviewing someone who is also very near and dear to me. I love showcasing and sharing with you people who are so not only special to me because of who they are in my life, but because of what they do and what they do to contribute to our community. So today we're talking to author, community nurse, and founder of CAREGIVER'S RESPITE organization, Miss Janice Williams. Welcome. You're welcome. You're so welcome. So before we get started, y'all, let me give you all a little bit of background. Today we're talking about a topic that is very, very important for everyone. So if you, at some point, if you think that you are not needing this information, you're wrong. Because at some point in your life, you will actually be touched by the role of caregiving. So we're talking about caregiving. Miss Janice has founded an organization. She has written a book about the role of caregiving and all of that entails. So we'll let her talk about it in just a moment. But here again, I just want to introduce to you Janice Williams. Welcome, sis. I see you.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's get started by talking a little bit about, and I want you to feel comfortable, girl. We're just talking. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your organization. As I stated, you founded a caregiving organization called CAREGIVER'S RESPITE. So we're going to talk about that. So tell me, how did you get into just this area of caregiving?
Well, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Miss Lewis, it's just been a pleasure knowing you. You're always so knowledgeable, so you just got a certain style, and you're just a blessing to me.
Thank you.
And so thank you for introducing me and making me sound so good. Well, I started CAREGIVER'S RESPITE. Well, actually, I've been a nurse for a long time, but nothing really prepared me for taking care of my dad. And I'll say that I was a nurse, but nothing really prepared me to be a caregiver. And I would say family caregiver. Because when you say caregiver, sometimes you think about the paid caregivers, the nurses, the doctors, but there's a such thing as a family caregiver. And that is usually an unpaid caregiver. The one who takes care of their sick family member, a loved one who doesn't get paid. They may quit their job, retire early, take a pay cut, miss some work. So they are the ones, really the glue that supports the caregiver. And so my father got ill, and he went through so many levels of care, like overnight. It really threw my family for a loop, and myself. And so he later died, but God really impressed me to start this organization to make sure that caregivers get what they need. The things that they need sometimes can be non-existent. I wanted to really make sure that they had that buffer and to get what they need so they can become successful as they caregive.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And so that experience with your father becoming his caregiver prompted you to start CAREGIVER'S RESPITE, as I mentioned. So tell me a little bit about that organization, if that's okay, because I know I'm familiar with all the great things that organization does. So I want you to kind of share with others who may be familiar in the area, and we'll also talk about those who don't live in the area, how you can also benefit from this information.
So I would start out by saying this: CAREGIVER'S RESPITE supports family caregivers through education and encouragement. We have some initiatives around health literacy and financial caregiving, and we do a support group, and we offer respite. And let me just back up a little bit. We named the organization CAREGIVER'S RESPITE because here's a funny story. Well, it's really not funny. I had been a nurse for a long time, and I was working one day, and I heard somebody say something about respite. And I was like, what is that? So I was a nurse a long time before I even found out what respite was.
Okay.
And for people who don't know, respite is a break. It's a period of delay. And it can be used, that word can be used in a lot of different areas, but how we use it is specifically for a caregiver break. Mm-hmm. And I often tell people that we don't take you out of your caregiving situation, but if you get a break, you can make it. We are specifically trying to give a caregiver a break, not the care recipient,
right,
but the caregiver a break through our initiatives.
Yes.
So we try to make our support group fun. We try to make the things that we do a break. Mm-hmm. We consider it a break, mm-hmm, because we're trying to give you a specific break. Right. We're trying to give you a break where you get relaxed, mm-hmm, but also where you get information.
Education.
Because if you go back into that situation, you need to have something else to fight with. Some more information, mm-hmm, some more strategy, mm-hmm, some new words, or just feel like somebody has listened to you. And so we're specific as far as giving a person a caregiver break. Now, typically, and I say that our caregiver breaks are non-traditional, mm-hmm, because typically you hear about an agency coming in and relieving the loved one, and that's fine. But what we consider a break, unique to us, is the time that you can get away and get with a group of people who are going through the same thing that you're, right, going through, who recognize how important it is when you show up, mm-hmm, because it is very hard to show up sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes a caregiver can say, oh, I'm coming, and they never make it. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the life of a caregiver, because things can change.
And they can't come.
That's
they can't
right.
leave that loved one.
That's right.
And you said something that is really, really, really key. It's very important for people to know that they are not alone. So what your organization does is it provides some support in that they are around other people who are in like situations as caregivers.
Yes.
And sometimes that does a lot to help boost someone's morale and say, oh, God, I am not the only one. Or
it's empowering.
It's very empowering.
Yes.
Yeah.
We tend to do that. We're specific in doing that because lives are being changed. People are being strengthened. Mm-hmm. How you felt, because the whole thing is really emotional. Mm-hmm. You give out a lot financially, spiritually, emotionally. And so it is strategy when you get around other people because it is empowering. Yes. You should not leave our sessions feeling the same way. Mm-hmm. You should feel something, a little lighter, have more strategy, mm-hmm, and just feel like you got a little break.
Absolutely.
A
break and, mm-hmm, some bonus information. That's that you can't lose with that. Yeah. I have personally attended a lot of your conferences she offers. So talk about some of the what you all did specifically about some of the events.
Well, one thing that's coming up is our Caregiving Financial Summit.
Okay.
Over the past 11 years, the number one question that I have been asked has to do with finances and taking care of their loved one. Okay. So I know that we're not prepared. I know that we don't have these conversations. Mm-hmm. I know that fragmented, it doesn't mean something. Information dealing with financial aspects of caregiving, but collectively, if we can get people to come to this summit, I know that they can get prepared. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to you earlier about the summit, and one of the things that I want people to know, that if we don't prepare, it will affect generations. And quite frankly, we don't want that to happen.
Right.
So if you're coming to the summit, bring your daughter, your son, somebody, your neighbor, someone who's younger than you, someone that you feel like will be this will benefit them, or even if you don't feel like it benefit them, you need them to come. And there's so much that I can explain, mm-hmm, but what our aim is with this and with this conference is to make sure we don't repeat some of the cycles.
And are there any other events that you want to tell us about that may be coming up in the future?
Well, we always do an annual day of respite. And, we're always looking to do something different.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
But we know it's important, again, to have that fun, to have that experience that you can just feel like, oh, this is my day.
Right.
That's what we're going to do.
They need that. Yeah.
Yep.
Caregivers need that.
And look, I need it. I'm excited
We
about
all
myself.
need it right now.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. So that is so exciting. And also, I forgot to ask you, for the summit, is it free, or do they have to pay anything?
It is free, but there is a workbook we want you to purchase.
Okay.
The workbook is going to help them plan.
Okay, that sounds good. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other facets to this diamond right here. She is an author, and so Miss Williams has written a book called Caregiving and Understanding Respite. I hope y'all can see that. Bring it here. And it's available on Amazon.
Yes, ma'am.
It is available on Amazon. So talk to us a little bit about your book, and look at her, so pretty. Tell us a little bit about the book and what prompted you to write the book. And just, you don't have to, you need to buy it so you can read it. But no, she's going to tell us a little bit about it.
Well, what prompted me to write the book is that every time we did an event, every time we did a conference, every time we did something, somebody would say to me what I just said earlier, I think. I know somebody who needs to talk to you. And so I was, at first, I was like, well, give me their number,
Yeah.
And I stopped doing that. If they need to talk to me, you can give them my information. And what would happen a lot of times is we'd never hear from them.
Okay.
And so I wrote the book because this is information that I have gathered over the years for your next step. One of my personal goals is kind of like what we talked about for the summit, to empower generations.
Okay.
You need to buy this book, yes, for somebody who's caregiving, but also for all of your family. Because as I mentioned, you got generations now caring. 5 generations need to have the next steps. Because I realize everybody's not going to come to every event that we do. They're not going to come to the support group meeting. They might not come to the day of respite. They might not even know what respite is. But if you would get somebody this book, put it in their hands, that's like preparing themselves enough for so they'll be aware that grandmother may be 100.
Right.
Or I just came from an event that let us know that people are getting dementia at a younger age now. And so you may look normal, but you may have some cognitive impairment. And so we're seeing all kind of things.
Right.
But this book can prepare you for some simple things. And plus it's got my story in here.
Right.
And I wrote the book and to really give them next steps, but also to sound an alarm.
Getting around it. We're all getting older.
Yes.
We're all going to have someone in our life that's getting older. And you don't know when, or if, rather, or when you will fall into that role. And so it's good to have this as, like you said, a guide to tell you the next steps.
Yes. I like to tell people, get the book and do the book.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for writing it. So Caregiving and Understanding Respite by Janice Williams, RN. It is available on Amazon. I'll also leave a link in the description box so that you can go directly to Amazon and pick it up. It is some great information. What would you tell me, what would you tell, or what is the one thing or one piece of advice you would give to someone who has newly found themselves in the situation of being a caregiver?
Get connected.
Okay.
Get connected like never before. There's a whole world out here with this type of information. Get connected and get a support group.
Okay.
The only 2 things: get connected to an organization that will kind of help you navigate through. Get this book, get other resources, get connected.
Absolutely.
Get a resource, get a support group. You have got to have that emotional support.
Yes.
And I wouldn't just say that everybody can support you in this. You're going to learn very quickly who can, who can't. And when you find out who can't, that's okay. But we're here to say that there are people out here that can, and that's who you need to get connected with.
So also, I want to talk to you just a little bit about your caregiver box. So tell me about this. I think this is an awesome idea. I think it's really great. So share with us about your, is this what you call a caregiver's resource box? Tell me, what is it? Survival kit?
Well, actually, I did this because I wanted, it has my book in it.
Okay.
But I put other resources in it. My book covers a lot of things, but it's not going to cover your whole journey. You might need some other things.
Right.
And so I just put some more resources in this box because I wanted a more complete way for someone who believed in this ministry to really give it to a person, like I said,
who might need some direction on how to get connected.
Yes.
This may kind of guide them with that.
And I fixed it so like it's a gift. And I wanted them to know that this can help you. You know, that there are things that's lined up for you. So basically, Ms. Lewis, I'm really trying to reach people any way I can.
And God bless you for that. That is so awesome. So we've talked about pretty much everything, your upcoming events, all of the great history behind all of the things that you have done with regards to caregiving. How could, if, I know you said you prefer that they get your book, but do you want to share any websites or any way that somebody could reach out to you? Let's say if you're here local, if they just have a question, if they want to, you can quickly respond.
Yes, so they can reach me personally at Janice Williams. Well, at JaniceWilliams.com.
Okay.
Well, I take that back. I should know my own website. But Janice-Williams. Because if you put Janice Williams, you'll be getting another Janice Williams.
Oh, okay. So Janice-Williams.com.
Yes. Or either they can go on the organization website, CAREGIVER'S
Okay, and I will again put that in the description box down below, y'all. All of her good information will be available to you. This has just been so enlightening. I really appreciate you for taking time out to just come and talk to the people who do watch my channel. It's just some good information, and I want to share you however I can. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah. So with that being said, I think we pretty much covered it all. I thank you so much for coming back for coming on here. I thank y'all for coming back.
Thank you.
I love you so much.
Love you more.
God bless you. So y'all, that is it for Miss PJ's Place. Thank you so much for coming back to visit me. As I said before, please like, share, and subscribe. Please share me with anyone that you think would like the kind of information that I share on this channel, and especially if it's only regarding the Hey Sis, I See You, where we are supporting female Black-owned businesses, and you don't have to be in Memphis, because my next interview, she's actually not even from Memphis. So we're so excited about this, y'all. Please follow me or visit my website at misspjsplace.com. And until another video, you guys, that's that.